Yashodabhiyalokalabdavamanam param ristam atyanta dutya gopya Rudantamuhurnetra yugmam rijantam Karam bodra yugmena satankanetram Rudantamuhurnetra yugmam Muhusvasakam patrirekāṅkakāntā Stita graivam damodaram bhaktivadam Muhusvasakam Iti drikshvalilabhirananda kunde Swagosham nimajantam akyapayantam Iti drikshvalilabhi Tadiyeshitagneshu bhaktarjitatvam Puna prematastam sata vritti vande Param deva moksham na mokshavadim va Nachanyam vrineham vare sadapiha Param deva moksham na Idam teva purnata gopala balam Sada me manasya virastam kimanye Purnata gopala balam Sada me Idam te mukam bodram atyanta nilar Vratam kuntalai-snigdha raktaischa gopya Idam Mohustrumbitam bimba raktadharame Manasya virastam alam lakshalabhai Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabdimagnam Kripa dristi vristyati dinam vatanu Grihane shamamagyam medyakshi drishya Kuveratmajau badamurtyaiva yadvat Tvaya mochito bhakti bhajau kritau cha Mata prema bhaktim svakame priyacha Namokshe graho mesti damodareha Namaste stu damne spuradipti damne Tvadiyodarayata vishwasya damne Namaste stu damne Namo radhikaya tvadiya priyaya Namo nantalilaya devaya tubhyam Namo radhikaya tvadiya priyaya Namo radhikaya tvadiya priyaya Namo nantalilaya devaya tubhyam Namo radhikaya tvadiya priyaya Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe, Jaya Radha Damodara, Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol, Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Haribol. Radha Damodar ki jai. Read it. The whole thing? Okay.
Through the supreme control who possesses an eternal form, this one knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in the cooler, who stole the water that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of whether he saw what was often been caught. To that supreme Lord, she governed for my humble obeisances.
Supreme Lord Damodar, my obeisance is hundred and hundred.
Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with a rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes.
There you go. Wow. Hair standing on end. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 31, Text 17. Yathā nabhasy abhra-tamaḥ-prakāśā bhavanti bhūpā na bhavanti anukramāt evaṁ pare brahmaṇi śaktayas sattvam iti pravāhaḥ yathā nabhasy abhra-tamaḥ-prakāśā bhavanti bhūpā na bhavanti anukramāt evaṁ pare brahmaṇi śaktayas sattvam iti pravāhaḥ Ladies, please. Yathā, as nabhasy, in the sky, abhra, clouds, tamaḥ, darkness, prakāśā, and illumination, bhavanti, exist, bhūpā, O kings, nabhavanti, do not appear, anukramāt, consecutively, evaṁ, thus, pare, supreme, brahmaṇi, in the absolute, śaktayas, energies, tu, then, amuhu, these, rajaha, passion, tamaḥ, darkness, sattvam, goodness, iti, thus, pravāhaḥ, emanation. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear kings, sometimes in the sky there are clouds, sometimes there is darkness, and sometimes there is illumination. The appearance of all these takes place consecutively. Similarly, in the Supreme Absolute, the modes of passion, darkness, and goodness appear as consecutive energies. Sometimes they appear and sometimes they disappear. Purport. Darkness, illumination, and clouds sometimes appear and sometimes disappear. But even when they have disappeared, the potency is still there, always existing. In the sky sometimes we see clouds, sometimes rainfall, and sometimes snow. Sometimes we see night, sometimes a day, sometimes illumination, and sometimes darkness. All these exist due to the sun, but the sun is unaffected by all these changes. Similarly, although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original cause of total cosmic manifestation, He is unaffected by the material existence. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad-gītā 7.4. Bhūmirapo nalo vāyu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, altogether these 8 comprise my separated material energies. Although the material or physical elements are the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are separate. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is therefore not affected by material conditions. The Vedanta Sutra confirms Janmadi asya yathā. The creation, maintenance, and dissolution of this cosmic manifestation are due to the existence of the Supreme Lord. Nonetheless, the Lord is unaffected by all these changes in the material elements. This is indicated by the word pravāhaḥ, emanation. The sun always shines brilliantly and is not affected by clouds or darkness. Similarly, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is always present in a spiritual energy and is not affected by material emanations. Brahma Samhita 5.1 confirms, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the Supreme Godhead. He has an eternal, blissful and spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and He is the prime cause of all causes. Although He is the supreme cause, the cause of all causes, He is still Parama, transcendental, and His form is Sat-Chit Ananda, eternal spiritual bliss. Krishna is the shelter of everything, and this is the verdict of all scripture. Krishna is the remote cause, and material nature is the immediate cause of the cosmic manifestation. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that understanding Prakriti or nature to be the cause of everything is like understanding the nipples on the neck of a goat to be the cause of milk. Material nature is the immediate cause of the cosmic manifestation, but the original cause is Narayana, Krishna. Sometimes people think that the cause of an earthen pot is the earth. We see on a potter's wheel a sufficient amount of earth to produce many pots, and although the unintelligent men will say that the earth on the wheel is the cause of the pot, those who are actually advanced will find that the original cause is the potter, who supplies the earth and moves the wheel. Material nature may be a helping factor in the creation of this cosmic manifestation, but it is not the ultimate cause. In Bhagavad-gītā 9:10, the Lord therefore says, Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and producing all moving and non-moving beings. The Supreme Lord casts His glance over material energy, and His glance agitates the three modes of nature. Creation then takes place. The conclusion is that nature is not the cause of the material manifestation. The Supreme Lord is the cause of all causes. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today is Thanksgiving Day. The world is celebrating a Vaishnava holiday because Vaishnavas give thanks every day, and the rest of the country does it once a year. So they're celebrating a Vaishnava holiday. And Bhakta Upendra is joining us from Bowling Green, in the middle of a place where there's no association. So thank you for joining us. There's one more person here, we don't know your name. Divyangi Lalita Devidasi. Where are you from? Omaha. Where? Hare Krishna. Oh, Prabhu's here too. Nice to see you. Haribo. Okay. The principle being explained by Srila Prabhupada is very simple. That there is all sorts of variety and changes happening in the material world. All of this variety comes from the three modes of nature. And the modes of nature come from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they're His nature. But He Himself is not affected by these modes. So that's the principle. Although He is the source, He is not affected by the emanations. So the emanations manifest sometimes as illumination, sometimes darkness, snow, rain, 8,400,000 species, happiness, distress, joy, sorrow, profit, loss, flattery, insult, all of these things. However, He is not affected by them. That means there is no concept of victory or loss for the Supreme. There is nothing called insult or flattery. He's not affected. So it's not that if someone comes in front of Krishna and says wonderful things, oh, you're God, you can give whatever you like. It's not like Krishna gets carried away. Oh, that's nice, very nice. What do you want? Take what you want. But if someone comes and says, you're very bad, you're something, it's not that Krishna becomes morose and says, today, that Prabhu didn't speak nicely to me. He's unaffected. Regardless of who says what or not, he's unaffected. Because he is like his devotee, or his devotees are like him, called Atma-rama. He is completely satisfied in himself. So if someone glorifies the Supreme Lord, it is their advantage, it is for their benefit. And if someone insults the Supreme Lord, it is their misfortune. But the Lord does not get affected by it. That's one principle being spoken here. And another principle is that one should not wrongly have a pantheistic idea of the Supreme. Pantheistic idea is that because everything is coming from nature, that nature is the source of everything. The supreme cause is nature. This is pantheism. Everything, seeing God in nature. That nature is supreme. This is śaktaya in one sense, but this is pantheism. Very popular. People love it. And it is quite convincing. However, we are taught by Srila Prabhupada, quoting from Chaitanya Charitamrita, that that's not the case. Energy cannot be the source of anything. Energy is the instrumental feature in bringing about something. It's the energetic, the source of that energy, the Supreme Person who's the cause of everything. So it's important for us to know that energy without energetic cannot produce anything. With the presence of the energetic, the Supreme Person, all his energies manifest. They work in very fantastic ways. It is important to learn these principles so that one does not get fooled about who the source is. Or one does not get fooled by just thinking the instrument to be the ultimate cause. So these two principles are being spoken. That's all I could get out of it. So back to the first principle about variety. There is variety in the spiritual realm, and that variety manifests as reflected in this realm. However, this realm is we call the contaminated realm. Contaminated means not pure. The not pure aspect is that there is interest separate from the interest of Krishna. That is the contamination. That individuals think of themselves as the enjoyers. Individuals think of themselves as the persons that are making things happen. Individuals think of themselves not only as the ones making things happen, but also as the rightful claimants of whatever are the outcomes. And that's the motivation for working. This is the verse from Bhagavad-gītā. Karmaṇeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetu mate sangostu vi akarmani. So, as long as that individuality exists in terms of being the enjoyer, one is in this contaminated realm. When one has individuality that is clear about the will of Krishna or the interest of Krishna and uses that individuality for fulfilling the will or interest of Krishna, one is said to have been clear of that contamination. So the whole process of bhakti or yoga is to systematically take a person from the contaminated state of existence to the pure state of existence. So there's a process. It's a gradual development. The interest with Krishna becomes one only when there is love. Otherwise it cannot be possible. Outside of love, there is still a tendency for having separate interest. For example, people think neutrality is the ultimate state. In neutrality, there could be a sense of, you have your interest, I have my interest, we just don't get into each other's hair. Or, I have no interest at all. Neutrality is not the solution. Neutrality actually is the end of being passive. Actual identity and actual activity, actual purpose only comes beyond neutrality when there is conscious, deliberate understanding of what is Krishna's interest and trying to fulfill that interest. Until then, there is this material variety. The 8,400,000 species, the 8 material elements, and the modes of nature. So in the third canto, Lord Kapila explains how all these material ingredients, they interact with each other. The ahankara interacting with the modes of nature create different manifestations of material energy. The mind, the intelligence, the sense organs, the senses, the sense objects, etc. The whole set of yoni, or 8,400,000 species, the varieties of desires. And then in 17th and 18th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā and 14th, Krishna gives the variety across all different aspects of life: food, determination, austerity, penance, sacrifice, charity, intelligence, happiness, worker, the work, etc. I mean, this is whole gamut of variety, all coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the source of everything. So, aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate. It is important to know this, because to know this is real buddhi, or knowledge, or intelligence. Iti matva bhajante evaṁ buddha bhava samanvita. So real Buddha is a person who knows where everything is coming from. And with the passage of time, one of the phenomena that is happening, or it's already happened, is people are disconnected from the source of things. For example, when children are asked or were asked, where does milk come from? The answer they gave was supermarket, the grocery store. That's where milk comes from. But they're disconnected from the source, that where does it come from into the grocery store in the first place, or from the factory. But they don't think like that. Because as time passes in modern day, things are disconnected from their source quite afar. And so what happens is people don't know. They don't know the source, they don't know how things are connected to each other. And now this is a side point, we're in such an unfortunate situation that when fuel prices go up, food prices go up. Although fuel and food really are not to be connected, right? But we're so heavily dependent on food being transported everywhere that when fuel prices goes up, tomatoes become expensive. Disconnected, right? We eat fruits that come from Mexico, some other, I don't want to list just the whole variety of places that food comes from. So there's the whole push, eat food that's grown locally, support local farming, go to the farmer's market, meet the farmers, at least you know how food's coming, but people don't know. Now that's not the solution. I'm not advocating please buy from farmer's market. That's not the point here. The point is to know the source, to know how things are connected. This is basics, what's called Sambandha Gyan. Sambandha Gyan is not some esoteric Krishna, he breathes out and all the universes come and that's the Sambandha Gyan. It's in day-to-day things, practical things, to see how things are connected to Krishna. Gokulananda Prabhu was giving me the example yesterday. In the ashram, people are in a rush, so they load up the washing machine or the dryer and bang this, start this, not being thoughtful that this is also Krishna's energy and that it has to be properly respected, cared for. Why? I'm getting late for studying Bhagavatam. That was the example he's giving me. I'm getting late for something. Well, how are they, this is okay, but on the physical realm, it's so disconnected. So it's important to see things, everything connected, our activities also connected to Krishna. So while there is all this variety on the physical plane, bhumi, apa, nalo, vayu, kham. There is variety on the mental plane, the psychological variety. I'm been dealing with quite a bit of late. Then there is variety on the intellectual plane, emotional plane. Whoa, that's the bigger one. All of this variety is manifest in this world, but it is coming from one source that is not affected by such variety. It doesn't mean that the source has no variety. It's not that Krishna doesn't have, various features. It means he's not affected by it. He's not affected by material conditions. He's not affected by changes in material permutations. We are. Because we identify with matter, we relate with matter, so as matter changes, we change. Although the real we doesn't change, we think we change. Harsha shoka. One day happiness, the very next day lamentation. One person we glorify, we're very happy with them, and the next day we dump them. Third day we glorify someone else and we dump them. We glorify and dump them. But that's variety. It's constantly happening. Why? Because our consciousness is very much relating to the material sphere of things, and matter constantly changes. I love you, I don't love you. I love you, I don't love you. I love you, I hate you. Just whatever, varieties of things. I like Karela today, and a year later I don't like Karela. Or 2 days later I don't like Karela. I like winter, I don't like winter. I like this jacket, I don't like it anymore. I've worn it too many times. I like this car, it's the same car. I want a different car. I want different this, I want different that. It's just constantly changing. I want this situation, I like this situation, or I don't like this situation. So this is because the consciousness is attached to flickering matter, or matter that's always in flux. Krishna is not affected. So say it in a I guess sort of humorous way, Krishna never gets mental. Never on the mental platform, oh, today my offering was late, maybe they don't like me anymore. It's not like that. It never gets mental. Now, the other part is that he is the remote cause. Krishna is the remote cause, and material nature is the immediate cause of cosmic manifestation. Although it seems that everything comes from Mother Nature. I think vivid, a graphic example is childbirth. Okay, men don't give birth, women do. And so we say, oh, we were born from our mothers. However, women cannot give birth unless they are given the seed. So in that sense, there is the remote cause. While the mother, the womb or the yoni, can be the immediate cause. So like that, Mother Nature is producing constantly things coming from earth. Trees are coming, animals are eating, and we are eating, and we go back into the earth. We're either buried or cremated or something. Like the Bhagavatam says in the Prahlad Maharaj speaks in the 7th canto, he speaks to his classmates that what's the use of this body when ultimately it has to become either stool or earth or ash. So if that's the case, why are you spending so much of your energy managing this body? Like I've said this in the past, I wish one of our Prabhus was here. One of Rati Prabhu's brother, he was very much into bodybuilding. He would lift weights, and his whole attention was to have his nice biceps and triceps. So one of the devotees was preaching to him. They met him and said, please take this book and study or chant Hare Krishna or something like that. And he said, I don't have time. So he said, what are you so busy with? He said, I go to the gym, I look at you Prabhus, you look so like this. I'm all into bodybuilding. You should take care of your body. So that devotee told him, all right, you're building your body, big muscle, nice, physique. But the only thing that I can say is the difference is that when both of us die, my ashes will be in a small urn and yours will be in a bigger urn. And for that Prabhu, it made such a lasting impression that he gave it up and became brahmachari now. Just that explanation that ultimately it's, your ash is in a bigger pot than a smaller pot because you have so much more body mass or whatever. Muscle. So, there is remote cause and immediate cause. Mother Nature is not the cause of everything. In the Bhagavad-gītā, I forget which chapter, 5th? No, not 9th chapter. I think in the Mayādyakṣena Prakriti Purport, Prabhupada talks about scorpions being born from rice. I think 14? The scorpions are born from rice. And so people will say, oh, see, that the rice is the cause of scorpions. No, but it's the environment in which those eggs are hatched. But the scorpions come from mother scorpion or father scorpion actually. So although material nature is producing so many things, there is a producer, an actual cause for it. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada gives us two analogies. One is the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just because a goat has nipples on his neck, that's not the source for milk. So it means that those nipples are not from where milk comes, that's not the source. So just because Mother Nature is producing, it doesn't mean that she's the original cause of things. And the second analogy Prabhupada gives is there's a potter's wheel and there is earth. And only those who don't know, those who have poor fund of knowledge, shall say that the pot comes from earth. So the answer is, Prabhupada says, the pot actually comes from the potter. It is the potter's imagination, it's the potter's creativity. The earth is just the medium for that imagination, for that creative idea to take form. So the real cause is the potter, not the earth, not the potter's wheel. So anything that is created, although is used or is created on the basis of material ingredients, bhumi apanalo vayu, kammana buddhirevacha, it is the possessor of those who's the creator. Everything else is but a medium, an instrument. Like, this is important principle because it establishes the presence of God. We hear it differently. Organization means organizer. Creation means creator. Like that we've heard. There's a beautiful painting, and no one can say, well, it's just paint. We don't come to the painting and say, such nice blue color, such nice shade of white or grey. No, we say, we glorify the painter. Nice imagination, nice creative way of expressing whatever. We glorify the painter. Srila Prabhupada was asked, Srila Prabhupada, when we look at the beautiful sunrise or sunset or a nice flower, can we enjoy the sunrise or sunset? Prabhupada said, sure. But you should think, how beautiful is the creator. Can we enjoy a painting? Sure. But your mind should go to how beautiful must be the painter. Like that. Of course, in our modern context, that doesn't apply. It's not that someone who makes a good painting necessarily is a good-looking guy. It doesn't work like that. But what's beautiful, for that person, maybe their mind, that creative aspect may be beautiful, but they may have buck teeth or something. But in Krishna's case, the mind and body are not different. So that's the reference, is the Satchidananda Vigraha. So everything about Krishna is beautiful. But he's the original cause or source of everything. And so it should be very clear. Narada Muni is making it very, very clear. Because as part of Achintya Bheda Bheda philosophy, one of the essential features of it is to know Sambandha Gyan properly. Otherwise we cannot understand how things are connected. We might wrongly conclude the Bheda, that everything is separated, and not come to proper conclusion of abheda, the simultaneous oneness. And just because something is separate, we might be the rightful claimants for it. That's the danger if you don't have proper Sambandha Gyan. So Narada Muni is helping us, and Prabhupada's hitting it into our heads, like the 5 times in this purport. He has explained that the conclusion is that nature is not the cause of material manifestation. The Supreme Lord is the cause of all causes. Okay, any comments, questions?
This might be a slightly off topic, but it's based on a point, it's derived from a point in the discussion. The Supreme Lord, although everything is coming from Him, He's not impacted. And the Bhagavatam, it explains that for those souls who, let's say, engage their intelligence in relationship to Bhagavan, they also get that quality of being unaffected by the material nature. So I was wondering how, for those of us who may be conditioned,
Maybe
a few of us that may be conditioned, when we associate with persons who are not affected, then it may be very hard to understand how they're actually caring about our dilemma.
Correct.
And then the tendency is to develop a sort of negative disposition toward them, thinking them to be heartless.
Correct.
And so on. So I was wondering, and that happens, of course, with the Supreme Lord Himself. I'm offering my prayers, I'm struggling hard like anything. I come to the altar and he's just smiling. And there's a disconnect. And therefore the tendency to develop or kind of nourish our aversion to the Supreme Lord and His devotees. So I was wondering, how do we deal with that?